If the person who rocks up with a camera on your wedding day is a total stranger, whose name you only find out when they knock on your door in the morning, is that a problem for you? If you and your fiancé have been bombarded with targeted ads on socials from faceless wedding photography and or videography agencies, promising huge limited time discounts and hand-picked creatives, but who also quietly skirt around telling you who will actually be there on the day, or if you've heard stories about engaged couples not receiving their photos from agencies or being unable to contact anyone in person, I think you'll find this episode super interesting. Today, I am chatting with Adelaide-based sweary firestarter, Josh Huggett, who helps to unpack what's really going on behind those agency offers, what's genuinely risky versus what's just clever marketing, and how you can make sure that your memories aren't treated like just another booking. Josh brings his signature no-holds-barred perspective and shares when agencies can be a great solution for certain couples, when they're nothing but a big red flag, and the key questions you and your fiancé must ask before you sign anything. And just quickly, from me to you, after this episode, the Unbridely Podcast is taking a little 4-week breather. I'm going to spend some proper time with my family and friends over the festive season. Can't wait. And I'll be back with you refreshed and ready from the 13th of Jan, 2026. I also wanted to simply and just genuinely thank you so much for listening, for your reviews that mean more to me than you may ever realise, for sharing the show with other engaged couples, and just for trusting me to be a small part of your wedding planning. I wish you and your fiancé a super freaking happy new year, and I cannot wait to hang out in your ears again soon. But for now, buckle up, Buttercup, because here comes Josh. Let's get stuck into it. Unbridely is a community of pro-wedding vendors who believe in freedom and integrity in weddings, giving you options, solutions, tips and tricks to create the experience and memories that you and your fiancé really want and deserve. Because we believe that weddings are a team sport. With how-tos, stories and interviews with recently married couples, we find out what went right and what they'd change if they could go back and do it all over again. I'm Camille, and welcome to the Unbridely Podcast. Hey Josh, how you doing?
Great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm kicking goals over here, but you were just saying that you've got a coffee place that's opened up now.
Yeah, just down the road, like literally in the shopping, far out, man. My English today is no good. For someone that talks for a living, I'm really not doing that well. We have a new coffee shop in the same complex as my studio.
Well done.
And the coffee is passable.
Passable, so. Yeah. And we're going to try and make inroads into improving that for you.
Yeah, we'll get them a check. Well, we're going to talk about a checklist. We'll make them a checklist.
I seriously, it's positive affirmation. It's like hey,
when,
well done.
When your kids go to the toilet and you put like a sticker on the chart?
Exactly.
Oh, you didn't burn the beans today. You get a sticker.
Gold star.
That'd be good. That'll work. I reckon that's a good idea. Yeah. Even if I just do it internally and they never actually know, and then I'll base my customer interactions with them on their chart. If they're doing really well, I'll be more positive.
Now, Josh, you could advertise this.
Yeah, not bad. It's okay.
Every sip, it's getting better.
It'll do.
And more English is coming out, so that's great.
More English is coming out.
Josh, I've never met you before.
No.
I know a little bit about you, but for my listener who might not know you, can you explain who you are and what you do?
I am a wedding photographer from Adelaide, South Australia. We used to run a big studio down here in Adelaide. Now we've gone back to a single-person studio. I do a lot of education stuff for photographers, and I make silly videos for the internet in my spare time.
Hey, we're all going to make ends meet, mate. I get it.
And I have 2 dogs.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you're not doing the agency thing anymore?
No. It was, we did it since COVID, we did it. That's when I got kind of forced into it. And then only recently, like only in the last 12 months, we've stopped purely because my personal brand got too big. and people were expecting
You.
me. If you don't know who I am listening to this, spend about 25 seconds on my Instagram account and you'll figure out why it's a bit weird to send somebody that isn't me to a wedding under my name. And now,
Dear listener, he's a big deal.
he's a big deal, like the fucking pickle. Oh, yeah, pre-warning, anybody listening, I use a lot of cuss words, so this isn't an episode for your kids. And I've also got Tourette's, so if you hear me yawning, it's not because I'm bored, it's because I've got tics when I talk on a microphone.
Okay, headphones in, everyone. And
Headphones in.
yeah, Mum, turn it off in the car.
Yeah, this isn't a car episode. But, so yeah, we had studio, we were running, we had like 38 photographers here, and 38 photographers and videographers, and we would go out, we were shooting up to 6 weddings a day. And then personal brand got a little bit too big, so we kind of filtered away from that. And then I did start another studio here, and we built that up, but I've recently packed that in because it's a lot of work, and I do a lot of other stuff now, like education and all that sort of stuff. So I don't really have the time or the mental load at the moment for...
Because it's a lot, isn't it, Josh? Yeah. And that's exactly the point I want to get to. So the reason why you're here, the reason why I reached out to you is this listener DM'd me and said, Camille, we're looking for our photographer, our videographer. We, we said the words over coffee one day and now we're getting bombarded with ads. The ads say that it's an agency who will look after us and they've got, personal sort of vibe going on, but they're also really aggressive with discounts and limited time offers. We know that there isn't like one particular person that we'll get. We're a little bit worried about the quality. We're worried about whether or not we can, trust these people who we don't even know, who don't seem to have a shop front as well. What do we do? How do you feel about agencies? And I've got my own feelings, but I want to put them on the shelf because I'd love to hear, your thoughts, Josh.
I have lots of thoughts about a lot of things. So there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with agencies. There are people that run it like, can I say names on here? I won't say like bad names.
Hang on, let me just check the producers. Yes.
Yeah, great. So there's people here like in Adelaide, like Travis and Benny Weddings. They're a studio. They're essentially an agency where people go out and shoot for them. And then, but with the way that they run their business is you talk to that photographer in the lead up. So Travis and Benny have a different business model than all these other places where you actually physically email and talk to your photographer in the lead up, and they're from the inquiry stage all the way through to the actual wedding day. So you have a relationship with that person before you get there. Where that's different. And so we did a similar thing. We had like a group email, and we had we would do a Zoom call so everybody could see, and if they wanted to do an engagement shoot, I would try to get the photographer to the engagement shoot, or I would do the engagement shoot and sort of run them through the whole process. Where these other agencies differ is that most of the time they just don't turn up at all. And that's why there's another company here that I don't actually know if they're from Adelaide, but they definitely run in Adelaide a lot. They got so many 1-star reviews that they deleted their Google profile and then started a new one.
Oh, man.
That was a fun little weekend. The group chat was on fire that weekend. We were just absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I bet.
But so what these agencies will do is like they send out really, really new photographers most of the time. Now, I'm speaking very generally. I can't speak too specific, but they will send out like newer photographers that are like building out a business or that sort of stuff. And that's what we did as well. But ours was always started second shooters. So we had a training process that we would put people through where they would have to come and shoot weddings with me. And then they would have to go and like second shoot. And then they could train themselves up to be like main shooters. And Travis and Benny do a very similar thing where they like train them up so that you actually know the quality.
So there's standards there. Can I ask, Josh, then when you advertised for your agency, is that a selling point? Is that something that you used to tell couples?
So it's a weird, what are the listeners of this? Are these like vendors or are these more couples that are on here?
Generally, my listeners are all over the world. The majority are in the United States and they're couples. They're engaged couples trying to navigate this.
So couples, so for photographers, it's a good selling point because it makes us look more professional and feel like, hey, we're actually a studio. We're so busy that we've got other photographers like that work for us. That's like, it's great. It makes you sound really, really professional. Could you then get a better experience if you booked with like a single person studio, maybe because you're like talking to that person? However, there are also the risks of single person studios because a lot of them are just like people starting out. Like it's just a guy in their house and they want to become a wedding photographer. And like there's those risks. Whereas if you go with like a name brand, it's such a murky water. But this is like...
It is, isn't it?
There's a big difference between like big agencies, you know,
Yep.
Travis and Benny, us when we were running.
Any other names you can throw out there?
Who can I think of?
You'd know some cats around Australia.
Yeah. I don't really see, and for someone that spends so much time in the wedding industry, I don't really spend that much time in the wedding industry.
Sure. You're too busy getting coffee and trying to improve their coffee blend.
They're trying to improve their coffee stuff. But so there are these like agencies that run it properly, but you will see, and I know the ads that they're talking about because Facebook's ruined their targeting metrics. So now when you target someone, it's actually targeting other wedding photographers. So we see all the ads and we screenshot them all the time.
Yeah.
And there's no real way to run a profitable business at like $1,500 a wedding. That's not a thing. It costs me more than that in fucking staff to send someone there.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they're running it. So yeah, it does get spoken about quite a bit.
I mean, that's one of the massive red flags, right? Because there's several as you go along. The thing that hits me first is these ads, and I know a lot of wedding photographers and videographers, media teams, they do a lot of meta ads. You know, they do some Google AdSense sometimes, and I understand why they do that. You know, they're trying to bring the people in, top of funnel, all of that sort of stuff. The ad's not the problem. It's the copy and the feels predatory to me that they put out one really good picture. You don't know whose picture that is, for starters. They claim a certain price with an asterisk. And of course, that goes, you know, that's baseline, 4 hours, 6 hours or something like that.
4 hours ceremony only.
It doesn't include the gallery.
27 editors' photos.
Things like that. Because it's a hook. And the limited time offer business, and then they try to get you through to click a button to go book now and sort of trick you. You know, it feels like bait and switch in a way, like a fancier online way of doing bait and switch. I guess that's where I start to have problems. But then, so on the weekend, I had a wedding out at a private property and I was just doing the ceremony. This is like celebrant hat on. And I knew that the couple had booked an agency. We did a quick run through, bit of a ceremony walkthrough the day before. And I went, look, I'd love to be able to address the photographer, the videographers by name. You know, you've obviously been told their names. Who are they? She goes, we actually haven't been told their names. And she goes, I know we've got one photographer and I know we've got two videographers and that's all I know. And I assume they'll be rocking up. And I'm like, how is that? Like, how is that okay? First of all, rock up on the day. I see one of my favourite photographers. He just jumped in at the last minute. He'd gotten the call the night before, Friday night. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. As a celebrant who has to put their face out there and go, it's me, I'm coming, I'm going to look after you. My guts are garters if I don't. What's going on?
What gets me, and things happen. So we had 2 weddings on the weekend and I had a photographer cancel 9 days early. 9 days before, which happened, like shit happens.
Yes.
Get over it. So my couples on the weekend, there was a little bit of like, she said, oh, we thought we had a different videographer coming. They thought they had Lewis. Last minute, I had to send Lewis to go and shoot a different wedding and I brought someone else with me. I was like, yeah, really sorry about that. It was technically in the email. Like, if you looked at who the email was sent to, but that's fine. That was on me. And that sort of stuff happens.
Yeah.
I get that. What shits me is when photographers or even just people in general, videographers, actually, now that I think about this out loud, I don't think there's any other industry that does this at all. Like, if you book florists, it doesn't really matter who sets up the florals, does it? It doesn't. Like, if you book, Jane, the florist,
sometimes
but she does all the florals and then someone else sets it up, you're not going to go, oh, Jesus.
I don't know, because there's some, even here in little old Adelaide, there's some big name faces, and you expect to see that face rock up.
I guess, like, if Sweet Nothing Flowers didn't turn up and she sent someone else, I mean, I'd be annoyed because I didn't get my cuddle, but that's a different story.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But what shits me is when people book and, they're like, Joshua Huggett and Media, let's say. I'll just use me as an example. Joshua Huggett Media. Yeah, we booked Josh Huggett. And then they send an email like 3 weeks before the wedding. Oh, sorry, yeah, Josh won't be there. It'll be so-and-so.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's not the same thing. Or when they do like a Zoom call, and you have a Zoom call, like, yeah, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. They do a Zoom call. They speak to one person in emails. They know that this person runs the company. I've got an exact company in mind, or two in mind. And they talk to this person, blah, 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 blah. And then they just send someone different on the day. Well, the way that we ran is that we had two different packages. We had two different pricing structures. There was like the with Josh pricing and without Josh pricing.
Right.
And as soon as I was unavailable,
that's how you differentiate.
You had a completely different set of emails as well. And the subject of every email and the subject of every quote was like, Josh not attending, Josh not attending, Josh not attending.
Minus Josh.
Not with Josh.
Won't see Josh.
Yeah, just so that people knew that, like, I'm not there. The only 1-star review that I have was the time that we worked with a wedding planner, and it wasn't communicated properly between the wedding planner and the couple that I wasn't going to be there, even though I've got email copy being like, oh, it's a shame that I can't be there. And we even, I mean, to be fair, I did say it in the Zoom call as well. Oh,
Jesus.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But like, it's, and that's when they do this bait and switch, and it happens. And like, at what point do the couples sort of get any sort of like rights, where if 2 weeks before your wedding you find out it's actually a different photographer but under the same company, what, are you just going to cancel? They're just kind of like stuck in this situation where they have to go ahead anyway, because what's the other option? You could find a wedding photographer 2 weeks out. That doesn't happen.
The other thing I'm thinking though, Josh, is whatever ads, whatever creative they've used to get you in, whatever they've shown on the website, whatever they've shown on the booking page, you're almost guaranteed that the person that took that footage or those photos is not the person rocking up. But at the same time, trying to think like an engaged couple, they don't really know the difference yet, do they?
No.
They don't realise, well, the two-parter as well, that Josh rocks up, but does Josh do the editing? They don't get the cause and effect and the cost, potential bad consequences of having someone, rock up who isn't any good, who just because they haven't had experience, most probably, maybe they have no guidance, with them and everything. What do you think the downsides are of having a media team rock up to your wedding who, you don't know, they're an unknown quality?
Well, so much of what we do is like relationship building, essentially, wedding photographers. We spend all day with you. Everything that we're doing is about building a strong relationship. It's about making sure that we make you feel comfortable in front of the camera. It's making sure, and look, there will always be some couples that don't need that. Some of these couples that'll book these cheaper options is when it does become a dollar and cents transaction. And that'll be okay for those people. If you don't care about building a relationship with your photographer or any of this sort of stuff, and you're just booking photo and video because you know that you have to, and it's literally a dollar and cents transaction, and you're just doing it because you have to, then maybe save fucking $600 and take a gamble on one of these companies and see what comes out the other end. But for the people that need, like a little bit of guidance and reassurance, and this is where paying that little bit more money, doesn't have to be heaps, doesn't have to be like my rate or other people's. You could just spend $2,500 instead of $1,500 and get someone that's starting out. And a lot of what happens is like fucking gear based as well. Like if you're hiring these people that are just sending out whoever, there's absolutely no guarantee on the gear that they're bringing. And like it actually matters so much. We always talk about how like gear doesn't matter. But if you're just an associate shooter and you don't have a big proper business, then there's probably a good chance that your gear isn't also up to scratch. Maybe you're coming with one camera, maybe you're coming with one SD card, two SD cards on one camera or whatever.
Can you spell it out for me, Josh, though? If a photographer rocks up with a mid-range, one camera, one or two SD cards, what's the problem?
Your camera will break and you will lose your wedding. It's happened. It's literally happened to me, and I shoot on cameras that are far too expensive.
People don't talk about it, Josh. They don't talk about the problems.
Walking back down the aisle. We were coming back down the aisle, big confetti thing, and I was like, here we go. Lift up a camera, dead. Shit. 0.7 seconds later, I've already picked up my other camera and nothing changes. I'm still able to take the photos. The couple weren't aware until I made a video saying exactly what happened. And I can say exactly what happened because I brought another camera and I was able to still capture the moment immediately. Like,
because you got out alive.
It was easy. And it was just like, and they had confetti cannons and everything. And like, it was not something that you could just replicate and just do again. It was the most one-of-a-kind moments of the entire fucking wedding day. But I had a second camera, so I was able to do it. And it's hard. Like, if you don't know who's turning up, then there's no guarantee of gear. There's no guarantee of like what you said before. The photos that you're shown probably weren't taken by the person that turned up to the wedding.
I tell you what, I'll put a guarantee on it. They're not.
We used to send 5 galleries when someone inquired, like, hey, Josh is booked out, but we can help you with the associate teams. Here's 5 galleries from the associates, like the 5 most recent galleries that were taken. Then we usually used the same photographers. So you'd get a good idea of like, this is exactly what I'm going to receive. All of our editing was done in-house. Like, we don't get other people to edit it. I'm sure Travis and Benny would be doing the same thing where they would be sending galleries taken by that photographer. And I know they do all of their editing in-house as well. So all of that would be done in there.
Can you explain? I mean, I understand it, Josh.
Yeah, true.
Can you please tell my listener, though, why is that important? Why does it matter where the editing gets done?
Everybody edits differently. And what you, like, even I edit differently depending on how much wine I've had. Like, it's so, you've got to...
Get him early in the year, everyone. Early in the year.
I've got an editing team now, so I can drink as much as I want.
You sit there drunk in a rocking chair and go, hey,
this one.
Bring up the contrast.
Yeah. That was a bit white, isn't it? It's
nice.
But everybody edits differently. So everybody has their own editing style. Just like, there's so many ways you can make a coffee, even though it all comes from the same thing. It's still beans and milk and water, but you can make it so many different ways. You can take one photo and hand it to 5 photographers and they will all edit it completely differently. Whereas if you go somewhere and all of the editing's done in-house, and most of these studios, I say they would do all of their editing in-house because it just makes sense, especially with like AI and stuff now. They can pump them out really fucking quickly.
If you had a sweary, chocolate-addicted, wine-sipping fairy godmother who could help you with your wedding planning, what would you wish for? Perhaps no more waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, wondering what you've forgotten, or fretting about your RSVPs. Maybe no more spreadsheets or post-it notes or endless to-do lists. Well, I can help you with all of that. Wedsites is an Australian wedding website builder, guest management software, and wedding project planner all in one. Why is this such a game changer for you? Well, imagine everything to do with your wedding being in one place, updated in real time in the cloud, shareable to anyone else that's helping you, password protected for your guests, with notifications to tell you what needs to be done next and by when. It's amazing, right? I love how easy Websites is to set up and use and how there are no ads on the platform yelling at you to spend more money on your wedding. To get started on your very own free wedding website, just head to wedsites.com. That's WEDSITES.com and enter the code UNbridelyPod, that's Unbridely POD, to get 10% off their paid planning tools. The link is in the show notes.
But also, realistically, there are so many different ways to take the same photo. Like, you can send two people to the exact same wedding, and if they don't shoot in the same style, then you're going to get two very different galleries.
This is what I hoped you'd say.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm starting to warm up now. So we had a shot list. I would send all of my photographers. I was like, here's the Joshua Huggett Media shot list. This is a full gallery. Here's how you take the photos. Here's where you take the photos. Here's the prompts that you use to do those photos. This is the end result. This is what I want. Bronte is a great example. He's a photographer here in Adelaide. He does very, very editorial, off-camera flash, like editorial style photo shoots. But when he came and shot for me, he knew he had to shoot in our way and make sure that we got our gallery. So he would change his shooting style to match what our couples were wanting.
Yeah.
If you don't have that in place, you could have the same editors, you could have the same gear, you could have the same company, you could have the same pricing, but you could have very, very different photos.
Result.
And that's why you need to kind of like see these full galleries, because everybody shoots different. Everybody makes coffee different. Every photographer will go and see something completely different to the person next to them. And this is where it all gets a little bit murky, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It's completely murky. So the person photographs differently. Depending on what they're directed, they photograph differently. Depending on the equipment they've got. Then once they've got the fucking images, they bring them back. Who knows who's fucking editing them? And then talk to me, Josh. Explain to the listener about the time it takes to get these edited photos back and what the reputation is for most agencies.
What's fucking wild is that people are taking 6 months to deliver a gallery. That's a little bit silly, isn't it?
It feels a little bit silly, Josh.
You're almost at your anniversary.
Can you explain why it's a little bit silly?
Well, yes, I can.
Good.
One, if you're too busy to get a gallery out on time, don't take any more bookings. Put your price up so that you can earn the money, so that you can spend the time. Do less weddings. I understand we all need to make money, tough time, blah, 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 blah. Put your price up, or keep your price the same, shoot the same amount of weddings, get help.
Yeah.
One of the big things that I teach and one of the big things that I advocate for is outsourcing things so that you can actually give your clients a better experience. If I had to edit every single photo we took, if I had to edit every single video we took, if I had to do every single email, if I had to do every single timeline, I would be fucking dead and my kids would never see me. So I got a video editing, I got photo editing, whatever you need to do so that you can give your clients this good experience is something you need to find a way to help. Even if you bring your partner on, just bring your fucking wife on and get her to do some emails or do some editing, or bring your husband on and get him to, help with culling or something to make it a little bit faster. Something.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't actually matter.
And it doesn't matter who it is either. You can, so all of my people are not in my studio. I don't hire any of my family members. I don't hire any of my friends. They're all outsiders, but I can train them, and I can, my wife often talks to me about working, how can I help? And it's well, it's a bit weird if you're here because if you do something wrong, I would feel weird telling you that you did it wrong.
I never got people working with their partners. I think I would be up for murder.
No, I'd love my wife. She's my best mate. I could hang out with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It would be great.
Yeah.
In a working situation, if she fucks up a video, I couldn't tell her she did wrong, but you're doing great, sweetie. You nailed it. That was so good.
You're improving all the time.
You're getting heaps better. Love it. No, I couldn't do it. But just bring someone on. So, like, we deliver everything within 4 weeks. That's both photos and videos. We have sneak peeks out the day after the wedding, couple of days if we need to get them from associates, because we still do the editing in-house. So it's also, like, internet-based. If if I send Neil out to shoot a wedding or Jake out to shoot a wedding, if their internet shit that day and they can't get the photos up, then I can't get the photos down, then I can't edit them and send them to the couple. So associates sometimes take a couple of days, purely internet-based issues. But with us, like if I'm shooting a wedding, we get sneak peeks out the next day. Then we have both photos and videos delivered on the 1-month anniversary. Contractually, it's 6 weeks, but we always get it out early.
Weeks.
6 weeks. We also say in emails 6 to 10 weeks, just in case something happens, but
I know. I think that sort of ballpark is really quite reasonable. I wonder, though, when a couple sees those ads, they go, hey, what the hell? We're saving a lot of money. We can put it towards the honeymoon. And they do it and they take the gamble. Someone actually arrives, shoots it, and then they don't see it for 3-4 months. I wonder over those 3-4 months if they think that cost saving was worth it then.
Well, at least they had a good honeymoon, didn't they?
I guess.
I guess. Yeah, they got $600 more. That was like 3 dinners in the States.
I hope so. But you're absolutely right, because you did say, Josh, the people who are tempted by those super, super, super low cost, I don't want to hate on people who have to discount at certain times if they want to do their Black Friday sales to get some bookings in the door. I get it. Times are hard for creatives at the moment. The economy is shit. But when you're fucking around with one of the biggest days of someone's life and their emotional attachment to that day, which is what you've got in photos, they're not just fucking photos. I get really worked up. The people who are drawn to that, I think you're right. I think they just want a photo. I think they don't understand the emotional investment in that. And they're willing to take a punt to go, yeah, we might end up with photos. But you're right. The people who really value it, they'll look at that and they'll go, oh, I just couldn't in good conscience go down that route. I just don't trust it. I need to have a chat with someone. I need to be face-to-face. I need to have that relationship in a one-on-one situation.
I find it weird when people book a photographer without speaking to them. That blows my mind. Now people book me without speaking to me, but there is literally hundreds, if not thousands of hours of video content on me on the internet.
Yeah.
It's okay.
People think they know you.
People, yeah. And I mean, they probably do know me. I put pretty much everything on the internet, bar real personal stuff. But booking like a faceless studio purely on price without speaking to someone is fucking wild. Like, even if you are, I don't want to say penny pinching.
No.
Because some people aren't penny pinching. Like, some people are penny pinching and they're just trying to save money wherever they
we're
can.
In Australia, so they're kind of cent pinching, aren't they?
Cent pinching?
I don't know. That sounds dirty.
Fucking dollar dodging.
Yeah. No, that's different.
That's different. Yeah. But so some people are penny pinching.
Budget.
They're watching the budget. So there are those people there that are trying to save money wherever they can and they're trying to have the cheapest wedding possible. Under 15K, Australia group, whatever. That's fine. Well, those people give me the shits. These people on the other side that still need to hire these cheaper photographers and they just simply don't have the funds.
Yeah.
This is where I don't know what to suggest, because it's like now fucking hell, Josh, what do you actually want to say? Because I don't want to promote faceless corporations that maybe send someone good, but it feels really weird to promote such new photographers without heaps of experience, because that is also a big gamble in that most of them only have one camera or they hire a camera for the day. So they've never actually really used that camera.
It's a massive gamble, Josh, but for some couples, $1,500 is a lot.
Yeah. And that's,
so I don't, think it's
and this is where I'm kind of like stuck. Like, who do you promote? Do you promote starting photographers who need to start and they need to practice and they need to everybody starts somewhere. I did my first wedding for
Correct.
free. I did my second wedding for $500. I did my third wedding for $1,000, and then I sat in that bracket for a while. So we were all there. But I think back on the gambles that I took at the start. I'm like, that would give me an aneurysm now.
Yeah. And you go, how fucking lucky was I that I got away with XYZ?
I was shooting on like it's just not that great. It wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But I needed to start somewhere, and those people trusted me. We had a great relationship, turned out well. But we see so often it doesn't.
Can I suggest then that maybe it's not that someone's starting out, that maybe it's not that someone's just got one camera and one memory card. Maybe you trust someone because of their personality, because they will go through fire for you to do the very best they can, because they want some sort of, it doesn't have to be a career in it, but it's something they're really interested in, they're passionate in, they want to deliver for you. Is the person more important?
Yeah, I think so.
The circumstances, the camera, the agency.
I mean, agencies are just fucking hard because they all suck, but not all of them.
You've said it a few times, Josh. Yeah. They all suck.
Well,
no, they don't.
They all suck.
No, they don't.
Well, it's just like so many do. I would say a majority of agencies suck. There are some.
It's hard to keep the quality up.
Yeah, and that's why we stopped. And just like you said before, it's the most important day of some people's lives. And I was sending other people out when I just wanted to kind of do it myself. And we always wanted to help people and all that sort of stuff. And I loved bringing up new photographers and training new people. And there are so many people in the Adelaide industry now that are full-time photographers that all came through Joshua Huggett Media. And it's great. It makes me feel good and I sleep nice on my pillow. But it's still someone else's wedding that, like, the most important day of people's lives, that if you bring the wrong people in, they do sort of just treat it as like a good payday, because associate shooters earn like $100 an hour, $150 an hour, like
just kicking around.
Other industry, most associate photographers that go and shoot under someone else's brand will make more money in that 10-hour day than the celebrant will.
Yeah,
which is fucking wild. And they don't have to do any of the other stuff.
Get me started. We'll be here all fucking day.
Yeah, I know. I think celebrants need to earn more and charge more, but there's so many
Let's get you on another episode.
Yeah, but it's just you look at people like yourself and Maddie Verco and Alex and, I could keep going, but Vicky, all these people that are fantastic celebrants, they put so much effort and energy and personality and everything into it. And they only earn a slither more than that person that charges fucking $500, doesn't really know your name, turns up, goes down, peanuts more. But the experience is literally night and day, and that sucks. But anyway,
yeah.
Oh no, because there's the fucking what's that celebrancy thing called? With Adelaide cheap ass celebrants or something, and you go on there and you book someone and they just send out a celebrant. I can't remember what that's fucking called, but.
Adelaide cheap ass celebrants.
I don't think that's the real term, but maybe I'll
look
start
that up. .com, is it?
Yeah, .org, I believe.
It's a not-for-profit.
It's not for profit. Well, they don't make any money, do they? What's it called? There's something. There's some associates agency. There's a celebrant agency, and it's like $500. Oh, I can't remember. I'll fucking send you a DM. But there is a celebrant agency, and we see it sometimes.
Yeah, right.
And they're always shit.
I think there's a real common theme there, Josh. I feel like the people are more important than the actual what they do. And I said it to Travis when Travis was on the podcast. I think at least 50% of what we're doing is the people that are rocking up. But I've got to applaud you, because I didn't know that you had sort of like an education control within your agency. I didn't know that you helped people, trained people, had a certain standard, did that. I think that makes a huge difference. If an agency does that, why aren't they screaming that from the rooftops?
So we scream all of that behind the scenes, and that's how we would sell. That was our selling point. So Joshua Huggett Media ran as me. I was the face, my name, my everything was on there. We didn't really ever market that we were an agency. It was always marketed, it was just me, because I shot a majority of the weddings, and I would still go to them. It was my name on the fucking business. I'm going to as many weddings as I possibly can. But then if I was booked out, we would just send hey, Josh is booked out, but we can still help you. We do have other teams. Like, Josh can't be there. He's booked out. Or if their budget didn't line up, you can't have Josh there. That's okay. We've actually got the associate teams as well. Here's some of their galleries that they've shot recently. Everything else is still edited in-house. They all still trained by Josh. We all go through the same thing. We had a big group chat. We would send photos every week, and it was all done sort of behind the scenes. We never marketed ourselves as an agency. It just kind of happened that
accidentally,
if they couldn't afford me, or it did. I got bullied into it by my fucking couples during COVID.
What are we going to do, Josh? What are we going to do if we can't have you?
Well, they rescheduled, and I was like, I can't do that date. And they're like, we don't care. We trust you to find someone. And I was like, yeah, but I don't have anyone. They're like, no, Josh, we trust you. You'll find someone. We want to go through you. I was like, okay, no worries. I guess we're doing this now. And then all of those other, you remember, we were all here in the COVID bubble when everybody got laid off from their job and then became a wedding photographer overnight, took on a whole bunch of bookings, and then just disappeared by the time the weddings were there. This is where we were helping, even if there were some weddings there that I didn't make any money at all. I spent all of my money on the staff, but we were able to help people that sort of came in and that kind of snowballed us a little bit in that we were out every single weekend and 6 weddings a day helping people.
I get how you got burnt out.
Yeah, and it was just personal brand got too high and it was too hard for me to send people out under my name. If you know who I am or what I do, I'd say fuck a lot. I'm big, I'm tall, I'm tattooed, I'm there. But then we send other people that aren't the same personality as me. They're still fun and will make you feel comfortable and all that sort of stuff. But they're not me levels of personality. And when you hit a certain point, you have to kind of be like, this is disingenuous now.
It's a different brand.
It's a different brand. So then we did start another brand, but I just don't have the fucking time. So
yeah. But if you are a faceless brand, what is the brand? That's the other thing. What are you actually getting? So thinking about all that, Josh, rounding all that up, for someone who's listening, who's seen these ads, might be chatting with an agency, what would be your advice for them?
Run away. Or at least jump on a call, and find out exactly who's coming to your wedding day. We told our couple 6 months out. We always did our rosters 6 months before the wedding day. So if it's 6 months before the wedding-ish, roughly, and you don't know who you're talking to, or if you've never seen a person's face, if you've never spoken to somebody on the phone.
If you suspect it might be being run from overseas.
Yeah. Or if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
If they're 25, 30, 40% cheaper than everybody else in the market, why?
Yes.
If they're running both photo and video, 12-hour days, ceremony, speeches, 4 photographers for $1,500, why? It costs $100 an hour. And that's cheap, $100 an hour to send an associate out there.
But a standard is 150, right?
Yes, 100, 150
Okay,
anywhere.
Well, that's good. I mean, they can at least do the maths there and work out, okay, is this just completely farcical? Is this unicorns and rainbows? I mean, it's really good for couples to know that.
If it seems too good to be true, it almost always definitely is.
Yeah.
And just, just fucking talk to somebody. If you don't know, do you know what you should do?
Tell them.
Is ask for an engagement shoot with the photographer that's turning up on the day.
Yeah. Why, Josh?
That's what you should be doing. Because that way you know the person that's coming. You can see the photos that they've taken. You can see how they will be edited, because ideally they will be going through the same editing process. And that way you can make sure you actually vibe with the person that's turning up on the day, because you will spend 10 hours of your wedding. You will spend more time with your wedding photographer and videographer than you will with your spouse on your wedding day. Make sure they're not shit, because otherwise you'll have a bad day. That's why we put so much effort into making people feel comfortable and making sure they know exactly who I am before I turn up to a wedding day, because we're going to be fucking side by side literally all day. I spend more time with brides on the wedding day than the groom does. Like, I'm there while they're getting ready until the end of the night, which is normally 11 o'clock, and then it's almost midnight and it's the end of the day. So I'm going to spend all day with you.
Do you know what I want to see, Josh? I want to see a photo shoot of you with a couple, like in bed, like in between them.
Just the whole night. Just me walking them through the process. We normally just lend them a tripod if they want to make a home movie. I don't probably don't need to be there for it.
Well, no, I feel like the message needs to be, we're always there.
We're here. I'm a part of it. And that's what we told all of our couples, is that, like, we're just a part of the bridal party. If you wouldn't have your photographer in your bridal party, get someone else.
That is dead set perfect. So if anyone's loving your sweary vibe and your no-nonsense bullshit, where can they find you, Josh?
If you Google Josh Huggett, I'll come up on whatever platforms you favourite. I'm on Instagram as I'm Josh Huggett. I'm on TikTok as I'm Josh Huggett. I'm just Josh Huggett. If you're a photographer, you want to learn, I've got an academy where we teach people every week. We have 2 classes a week. We do live streams. We go out for tea. If you're in Australia, we go out for dinners.
What about overseas, Josh?
I've got some overseas weddings coming up. Oh, I'm speaking at Way Up North. When's this coming? Oh, I've got Way Up North in May. If you're in Europe, I'm in Europe in May, speaking at Way Up North. I'll be hosting a workship over there with Andrew Kia. I'm in the States in September, so I'll be running a workshop in September.
And for those photographers, like, you know, who might want to do the education thing, like, would you take people from overseas?
Oh, yeah, we take them from all over. So we actually have a lead referral program too. So I receive like 300 leads a week. And obviously I can't shoot that many weddings. So every lead that comes to us, we actually send them the photographers from the academy, because that way we can help, like, kind of vet them. These guys are all learning and actively learning how to be better photographers, and are in a paid community to kind of do that. Maybe have a look at these guys. And we have people from all over the country and all over the world, and we get leads from all over the country and all over the world.
Bloody brilliant, mate.
Very privileged little position.
You know, it's that rising tide lifts all ships business.
Yep. And this is where, like, before I had my my fucking whatever it was called, the not academy, the thing.
Agency.
Why can't I remember that word today?
I don't know.
Why can't I remember that word? Anyway, we had the agency, and I would just take all of the leads, and I was trying to book as many weddings as possible from all of these leads. And then I was like, nah, fuck it. Can't be bothered. I'm going to give these leads to other people. And that's where the academy sort of grew now, and that we just give the leads to the other photographers that are actively learning, rather than them chancing somebody else that maybe not be as qualified.
Well, it's also, you know, a bit of a sort of bar of not excellence, but, you know, those who invest in their own education are more serious about things, I think, full stop. So, you know, if these people are investing in their education, they're looking to you for ways to do things, then chances are they're going to go out of their way for a couple as well.
Mm-hmm. And they're actively learn, like, every week we have 2 classes a week on, like, client experience, how to run a better business, how to make actual proper workflows so that things don't get forgotten. We have timeline prep classes. We have, I don't teach photography skills because, like, I'm not the best photographer in Adelaide.
It's how not to be an asshole at a wedding.
Just how to actually look after people and how to be a people business rather than how to take moody photos but then not actually answer an email.
Oh, my God, we could talk forever. Okay, thank you so much for your time, Josh. Really appreciate it. You have a top week.
I shall. 4 weddings to go, and then it's Christmas, baby.
Yes. Excellent. See you, Josh.
Bye.
That about wraps it up for this episode of the Unbridely Podcast. For the links and resources we mentioned, please head to the show notes. And if you love the show, please review and subscribe on the podcast platform you're on now so you don't miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, weddings are a team sport. Catch you soon.